It was like I had seen a ghost. In a long stretch of California's tangled past, there exists a story of a girl, Ruth Ann, who once disappeared into the shadows of a notorious chapter in history. A child of the late 60s, she was swept into the vortex of the Manson family, her name once whispered with the kind of weight that carries a dark legacy. But after the dust settled, after the trials and the headlines faded into history, she was gone. Just like so many others, vanishing without a trace. Her charges here in California were left hanging in the air, unresolved, and then nothing. No trace, no whispers, no sightings. She simply disappeared. That was until 1999, when social media did what social media does best. It found her. The photo, so simple, yet so heavy with meaning, surfaced like an old relic rediscovered from a past that many wanted to forget. Ruth Ann, now older, a stranger to the world that once knew her as part of the Manson family, had reappeared on the radar of the internet. It wasn't a cry for attention or a desperate plea for recognition. No, it was just one mistake, one accidental post, and just like that, the world could see her again. But here's the thing. Most people never saw it. For the majority of the world, it stayed buried in the vastness of the digital abyss. But for me, it was like a secret treasure unearthed. Something I hadn't expected to find. A long-forgotten glimpse of someone from a time long past. A snapshot of someone who had become a ghost in the narrative of American history. And just like that, her face, now so much older, more weathered by life, and perhaps wiser in how to navigate this strange new world of social media, was there for all to see. But the irony, it didn't take long for that glimpse to disappear again, fading into the same digital void where it had once resurfaced. A little flash of someone who was never really gone, just hiding in plain sight, like so many of her contemporaries. And that, my friends, comes from my book. But don't look for my book, because I'm just a writer. I'm not an author. Authors, they go for the money. Writers, they tend to try to get to the story. So if you know a writer in your life, encourage them. Encourage them all you can to keep being a writer. And one day they can cash in and be an author. But when there's a story to tell, because there's a book out about Ruth Ann, came out 2 years ago, story of Ruth Ann Morehouse. Looks like she's even on the cover. And it's all a scam. It's a scam for money, because some people aren't writers, they're authors. And those books where they use pictures to make people think, oh wow, is that her? And then you find out it's a stock image just to show a girl of innocence. Such BS. That's why I'm leery of being an author. Because a writer's a good place to be. And welcome to the Backporch tapes. Because today we're going to look at something Ruth Ann wrote. Yep, she wrote something and nobody's got it on the internet. They never have. I mean, once it was on the internet and I got it off. And just like I got that picture off. And we're going to read what actually Ruth Ann's thoughts were after, when she was 50 years old. This is when she was 50 years old. Now she's in her 70s, and she's still alive. We're going to read her thoughts when she was 50 years old, and they found out because the internet first came around then. When she was 50, that's when the internet first came around. And she jumped on just like everybody else did. Didn't know that people out there looking for people who were involved in the Manson family. No matter if they changed their names, they changed their appearances, whatever they did, there were still people looking for them. And they found them, and they found them quick. And when they found them, sometimes they found out that they were found out quick. So they got rid of themselves off the internet. And you can't find them today. But you could find them then. And we're going to read something that Ruth Ann wrote back in 1999. Because a website was trying to hunt her down. It was a website by Bill Nelson, a guy who wrote a couple books. one on Tex Watson, one on Charles Manson. He was trying to hunt her down. So she got in touch with somebody in an email and wrote Bill a letter to send it to him. I'm going to get in that today. See what actually Ruth Ann's thoughts were. I mean, this will be a better book than you could buy. That book that looks like it has her picture on it and it has no new information. She had no inside information from Ruth Ann whatsoever. It was just a book by an author. Stick around. I'm a writer. This gets interesting. To whom it may concern, Bill Nelson's website. I've just been to your website and read the page about me. I wanted to write and express my feelings on this matter. I would also like for you to publish this letter on your website as a sort of my story type thing. I realize it is your website and you're free to publish whatever you want. I also would like to thank you for not releasing any information that you have about me. I have been living a quiet life for the past 30 years. I've been blessed well beyond what I have deserved. I have a great husband who I adore, a job I love, and sons who are my whole being. There have been many tragedies along the way. I'm not trying to make anyone feel sorry for me. I'm merely trying to set the stage for what has become of my life. I received my first email from Bill back in July. I admit that it hit me out of the blue. I'd seen his website and also seen him interviewed on television. I didn't know what to expect. I hadn't talked about those years of my life for a long, long time. Indeed, my own children don't know my history. I've been upfront with them about drug use and basically told them I lived in a commune. They have no idea I was with Manson. I tried to explain to Bill my reluctance to speak out because it's been so long. But I've been living quietly with this for almost 30 years. Old habits are hard to break. For a moment, put yourself in my shoes. Have you ever tried to explain to a plastic surgeon why you have an X on your forehead in the first place? I've had all these feelings bottled up tight for many years. I've been to professional counseling for years. I can't talk to my friends about it. Real friends will understand. Wrong. I know firsthand experience that's not the case. I have tried opening up before and have people, special people, walk out of my life because of it. Welcome to my life. I told Bill this story. I live in a very small town. One cold night, I couldn't sleep. I flipped on the TV and there happened to be a Sharon Tate movie, Don't Make Waves, showing. I cried the rest of the night. I think about it all the time. Not a day goes by when I don't think back wishing the whole thing was some awful dream. But it wasn't a dream, I know that. I can't change it, although I would, if I could. Barbara Hoyt. I think about her and wish that there was something that I could do to ease her pain. What I did was despicable. I am ashamed. But again, I can't take back something I did 30 years ago. The reason I never apologized to Barbara through email to Bill is quite simple. I can't fully express my feelings in words. I feel it is something that needs to be done face to face. At this time, however, Bill's told me that Barbara doesn't want some type of overly emotional reunion to be blasted all over talk shows. I feel the same way. Like I said, I think about Barbara on a daily basis. What happened with her has kept me up at nights for 30 years thinking about what could have been very tragic outcome. I'm truly sorry. After reading Bill's website update about me, I felt compelled to give my side of the story. Bill's been getting quite a bad rap on the message boards, and I probably shouldn't have popped off the way I did. As far as I know, he hasn't spilled any information about me. Basically, everything happened too fast for me. Much too fast. I wanted to set the record straight and give insight into my decision to what I did. Okay, Bill, what do you think? Can you publish that letter in full? I picked up the ball in my court and have passed it to you. Ruth. So that's what we got about Oish today. You say it like whoosh. Sounds like the wind. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. There's a lot. This girl's an interesting girl. She was a witchy girl too. Because in Lynette's book, Reflection, Lynette talks about a story where they had this, I don't know, stray cat, I guess, around the ranch. And it was afraid of people and it didn't go inside, just stayed away. It was a weird cat. And one day, Ruth Ann just grabbed it by the scruff of the neck and picked it up and threw it in the fire on the embers. I guess it wasn't a fire, it was just like embers that were still there. And then she went and grabbed it out of the fire and brushed it off. Well, Lynette said that cat was never the same again. And it never grew. These cats were witchy people, man. I hope you like that. Because a lot of people tell, you know, when I go looking for information for the Manson, I want to get different information. I want to get the same old stuff, you know, somebody's opinion of it. So I hope you enjoyed that, because that's what really this is all about. We all want to see something new. And I hope that was new to you. And until next time we come around the back porch trying to be an author. But then again, do you really want an author that just gives you a book? Or do you actually want the information? Peace.